Join us on a 3-night cruise on board Carnival Radiance. This is our first Carnival cruise. We've only been on one other cruise before, and I have toured one other ship, so we're pretty new to the cruise life. This cruise left out of Long Beach, and I have to say it's way nicer than Fort Lauderdale. This cruise was definitely a lot colder than the other cruise we were on. This cruise is older, so I was expecting it to feel older, but as soon as you walk into the atrium, and I was instantly blown away. Like, it felt way more fancy than the last cruise that we went on. Not that you can really compare them, but price-wise, I feel like they're pretty comparable. As soon as we got on board, we headed to our muster station, and then I started to explore the ship. We tried to find the cafeteria, but we got a little bit lost, not gonna lie. It felt a little bit more hidden than on Royal Caribbean's cruise, so it did take us a little bit, but we got to explore the pool deck. Another thing I like to do as soon as we get on the ship is check out the kids clubs for a few reasons. One, because I have kids, and two, because I want to get videos of the kids clubs without kids. And also once it's out at sea, parents can't go into the kids club, so that's the only chance you get to actually see what they look like, and I want to know what they look like so that I can tell my clients if I think that one's suitable for kids or not. We just saw the one that's for ages 3 to 5, and now this one is 6, I believe, until 12. I feel like the colors that they have, the kids clubs, make it seem really inviting. The next one is for ages 12 to 14, and my twins were really excited about that. They're 13, and when we were on our Royal Caribbean cruise in November, they had the 13-year-olds with the 17-year-olds, and it was just really awkward for them. They didn't want to be there. They didn't make any friends. It was just not enjoyable for them, so they were really, really excited to be with kids more their own age. The next age group is 15 to 17, and I know that sounds so close from 12 to 14, but you change a lot in those years, and the rooms were set up pretty similar, but it's just nice that they don't have to be with the scary 17-year-olds, or the 17-year-olds don't have to feel like they're with children. And by that point, after we managed to find where the buffet was and actually get a table, our room was ready. So our room was on the first floor, and I was a little bit iffy about it being on the first floor, but I ended up loving it, and I'll explain why in a minute. So we have an ocean view room, and our room actually sleeps 5 because we were supposed to have an extra child with us. The 5th bed is underneath the bed. It's a pull-out cot. I don't know how we would have managed to survive with a 5th bed out. So the reason I like the first floor, and probably the 2nd or 3rd floor would have been fine too, is that the ship is broken up into like sections. So sometimes if you're on the 4th floor, say, you can't walk all the way across the ship, so you'd have to go down a floor and then walk across and then go up the elevator to go back to that level. So when we left our room, it would be like, oh, we're going to the pool, okay, and we'd walk to the other end of the hallway and go up the elevator to go to the pool, and we'd get out of the elevator, be right at the pool, and not have to walk around the entire ship with so many people. And then like same with when we wanted to go for food, depending on where we were getting food from, we'd go from whatever elevator. And then it was time for the Sailway Party, and I thought it was really interesting that the Cat in the Hat and Thing 1 and Thing 2 came out for the Sailway Party. And also, like, Carnival has such a bad rep for being the party cruise and whatever, but it's interesting how kid-friendly they really are. Then the boat started actually moving, and we got to watch the shoreline change and slowly get smaller and smaller, and I thought it was really interesting. I don't know too much about Long Beach or California beaches, but they have this barrier that protects the waves from crashing in, and I feel like it covers a pretty big portion of the shoreline. I haven't really looked into it, but I was fascinated by this. Then we picked up a chicken burger and strips from the chicken place. The food on this ship way exceeded my expectations. Also, I felt like they had quite a bit of entertainment for all ages. I really enjoyed having a window this time, which I know is my choice to book or not book. Then it was time for dinner, and they did a little show. I think it was only the first night they did a show, but the last night we kind of snuck out early, so I'm not 100%. Food in the main dining room was also great. My spoiled child asked for a snowman when we went to the pool, and we came back and there was a snowman waiting for us in her room. I was super fascinated by the seagulls flying with the ship. It must be because it was going slow and because of the light. Make sure you hit the follow button for day 2.